what happens with the collecting is, I'm not a collector that has his figures mint in box. I take them out, I play with them, I turn them around, I love them. But I love them at a sculptural level, at a design level, at many other levels. For example, I could say, in creating Troll Hunters, the series I did for Netflix, the design of the trolls was based on early vinyl figures in many ways. And my dictum to the animators and the modelers was, I want a show that is populated by vinyl characters. And they have that simplicity, which I learned not out of the highly collectible $10,000 vinyls that you can buy in Giant Robot, but out of the simplicity of a Chinese knockoff of a tiger with a red overall that is at some level beautiful sculpturally. And I don't have to theorize about it. There's a plasticity to it, you know? So in Bleak House, why was it born? Well, when I was a kid, I had a shelf. Then I had a bookshelf full of my stuff, and that's the same. When I was living with my grandmother, one of the rooms had a vampire bat that I cut out of felt, and had a little sign that I put that said, "Monster Club, do not enter." Basically, that's the houses, you know? But one day I was hanging a piece by Richard Corbin. I lived with, my collection lived with my family, and took about 3/4 of the house. My oldest kid was coming down the steps and he would say, "What does that woman want?" About a very scary figure. So my wife said, "Take all that stuff, I'm gonna have it in the kitchen." And my response was to buy a house. So I bought a house for my own because I realized I had grown up with my mother's opinion of what I could put in my room. And now I was living with my wife's opinion of what I could hang in the kitchen. So I said, it's time I emancipate. I bought my own house, and I then bought the house next door, and I created secret passages, sliding bookshelves, secret paintings, and a room where it rains 24/7 with surround system, theatrical projection, blah, blah, blah. And it took me 4 years just to classify the books. 4 years because I do it myself. I dust, I wipe, I clean, I hang, I decide on the framing, I go to the framers. Why? Because I think what you have as a Mexican is what you do works at two levels. On one level, it represents exactly who you are. There's a very irreverent saying in Mexico, which is, the way you dance is the way you sleep is the way you eat, the way you eat is the way you fuck. And it's gone. So that's the way I fuck. Very weird. No. It's a very strange thing. But it is organic to who you are. What we can expect as artists is to represent ourselves without apology. You know? We cannot excuse who we are, and if we deny who we are, it ends up seeping out in the work. So might as well live with it, and literally live with it. So I live with monsters. I adored it. When I'm coming down the steps and I see Schlitzie looking at me, I smile. When I see hands with a razor blade at the end of a corridor, they go, ah. Most people don't feel that way, but I do. Or when I enter the house, the Lovecraft that you have in there is looking straight at the entrance. So you open the door and the guy is looking like that. And it was made to look that way. These are commissions. So I commissioned him I gave the measurements to the artist. I said it's gonna be 100 meters away, 10 meters away, whatever. And the Poe is sitting in the library looking at Lovecraft. So I'm kind of the stranger version of a freak. You know, a well-financed strange creature. But what it does, it literally, when I'm there, I'm percolating Ivan Earl, I'm percolating Edward Gorey, Lee Brown Coy, Ralph Rackham, Edmund Dulac, H.R. Giger, and so on and so forth. And I'm percolating them. I'm percolating the books. And I get inspired. I do get inspired.
And Guillermo, can you talk a bit about your